Hello, I'm popping on to this tried and true platform of the YouTube to say what's up, to give you my raw and real, and to just express in the desire to be met. Yeah, so that's alive. The desire to express is one thing. It's there, it's raw, it's real, and also the desire to be met and seen in my most vulnerable and raw and authentic self. You know, the one that just wakes up and is there and is in it, and there's nothing. There's no like, I'm gonna box my wisdom in this way and I'm gonna make it palatable to the system so then I can be sold and profited off of, and then I can funnel in someone who's gonna like be like, oh well, now this is what I'm gonna receive from you. Thank you for like making it so bite-sized and small. And it's really just another form of shrinking. It's just another form of shrinking when we are you know, needing to package everything. And who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking as? Who am I? Well, I am a women's and men's emotional embodiment coach, and also someone who is just deeply in touch with her body and her womb cycle and nature and the earth. And the truth is that I cannot be put into a box because I am the wild, I am nature, as we all are. And part of my role on this planet is to simply be in my wild, in my pleasure, in my pain, in my ferocity, and therefore activate others to come home to their wild and their raw and their real and their ferocity and their intuition. And that the organization and the structure of who we are and what it is that we're doing can be helpful and is an important tool. And we do see this order in nature, and there's a beauty in that organization and ways to channel it. And ultimately what we are is so vast that we cannot even conceptualize it. I have no idea what I am, why we're here, what this mystery is that we're all living, and yet I am saying yes to it in my physical body, in my physical form. And so this video really is about not knowing, but just wanting to share and express my most raw and real, because I have tried to package my shit up and make it bite-sized and say, okay, these are the 3 ways that you get in touch with your womb. And like, if you want to be more in your body, then you're going to do it this way and this way and this way. And just like fucking spent so long and exhausted myself and tired myself out trying to make myself into a package that is palatable, but still just, you know, it's like, it's fucking funny. Excuse me. It's funny now that I'm seeing it. It is like, I am gonna make myself into this package that is wild and raw and fierce, but just palatable enough for it to still please the right people who will then see me in the right way. And then maybe if I post this thing, then it'll give me this client, then it'll give me the, and it's, and all of this reaching that has really happened in my body through the platforms of social media. Right? And so I'm just getting raw and real and inspired by so many things. One is that I'm deep in my luteal phase, like day 32 of my cycle. So luteal phase is the phase of the cycle before a woman bleeds. I could talk about this forever, so if you do want to be part of my channel and you want more content on that, let me know, because I can create videos that are like a little more organized. Anyway, I'm deep in my luteal phase. I'm wearing the red because I'm ready to bleed, and I just love red. I love being this pleasure priestess, because by the way, being a pleasure priestess does not mean fucking feeling your pleasure all the time. It means that you have the capacity to find pleasure in the shit, right? And so it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna like expand, I'm gonna like be in my orgasm, I'm gonna just like be in my pleasure. That is part of it, and that is so fun, and I love to play in those realms. But really, being the pleasure priestess and someone who's an embodied goddess and in touch with the womb space is about presence. Full presence with every experience. And I don't mean just presence, the type of presence that like sitting in silent meditation in complete stillness brings, because that's great. That is a beautiful skill to have that most of us have learned growing up in the school system that tells us to sit still and stay small and be silent, and you can't even fucking pee if you need to pee, right? It's like shaming. We shame people. We shame these children for having to pee. We're literally like, you should have peed at snack time. And the child's like, but I did. Don't you pee now. No. Oh, you're going to pee on the floor. Like, I saw kids pee their pants on the floor because teachers were shaming them for having to pee. These kids are listening to their bodies and we're shaking their own bodily wisdom out of them. And then here we are years and years later healing these deep traumas. And then we're in spiritual paths that are reinforcing them and saying the only way is if you sit in still, silent, seated meditation, that's the way to connect with the divine. That's the way that it will take you to source. But the truth is that is a way. And there are many ways. And the mysteries of the womb space, which is a realm that I love to play in. I am not an expert. You are an expert of your own body and your own experience, right? We're all experts of our own bodies and our own experiences. But I love to play in this realm of the womb and see, even in this video, see how we're circulating from one space to another and we don't really know where we're going, but we're here and we're grounded and we're present in the frequency of aliveness that's pulsing through my vessel right now in this transmission on this platform of YouTube. And so in this space of the feminine mysteries, we remember that the way to connect with the divine is also through the body. Yeah, it's through the body. It's the descent. It's into the dirt. It's into the earth. Deep. And then we find that light and that preciousness that in so many paths of like the masculine-oriented spirituality, it's all about ascension, right? Let me get out of my body. Because when I'm in my body, it hurts. And then I need to feel it. And when I feel it, I don't like that. So I'm going to leave my body, right? And the feminine calls us home to the body. And the feminine, right, can live in all of us, does live in all of us, and lives on this planet. And that's what's awakening on our planet right now. So we get to be in our body. And so coming back to the whole pleasure priestess thing, it's like we get to find the kink in the pain, right? It's not that we need to accept it. It's not about let me accept just everything as it is. But there is this element of let me be present with it and witness it. And then from that place of full being with what's there, that's how we create change, right? When we let ourselves feel how fucking fucked up it feels to be in this planet where I get to have everything that is like here at my fingertips in terms of food and resources. And they're literally children having their genitals cut off in this moment. And I'm here as a pleasure priestess with multiple wands and a whole box. What I have in my box here, I have this yoni juice, and then I have jade eggs galore, right? And I'm over here just being this pleasure priestess. And there are young girls having their clits cut off, and there are young boys having their balls cut off, right? Like, what the fuck is that? So paradox is a big part of our human experience, right? But it's not like, oh, I'm just going to be in the paradox of what is. It's like, oh no, we're actually here to activate and create change. We're here to create change in this world, right? So it is an internal job of let me find what's in the body. Let me find that connection to source. And once I know it, then we get to say, okay, here I am, I'm in my center. And now I'm going to walk out into the realms. I'm going to walk out into the city. I'm going to speak my truth, because that's how we activate each other. That's how we create change on this planet. And if you don't think that change is possible, just look at history. We are history in the making. History is always in the making. Herstory is what we are uncovering and allowing ourselves to open into, right? So thanks for watching this video. The other point I wanted to bring up, so yeah, jade eggs are really fun, and a little bit of snakeskin here because we like to embody the death as well as life. So, yeah, I was going to bring up that my Instagram was shut down, and that was fun, and it still is, because I was like, wow, you know, I've poured so much into this platform, and I've shared so much poetry, and I've relied on this space to call in all my clients, and just let me just share everything here, and then all of a sudden it was gone, because Instagram likes to censor the expression of the female body. And when we start talking about sex and the pussy and wildness and all these things that bring us home to our pleasure and our power, when we don't need those networks anymore to remember our own divinity, when we don't need money, when we don't need a doctor to tell us what to do, because we know we are witches, midwives, cantadoras, curanderas, right, in our own bodies, then these platforms start to censor, right? And so I am coming on here to YouTube to just share what's moving. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but I want to reactivate this channel space as a playground to just share what's alive. And please let me know, you know, my first video that went viral that I actually took down because of all of the the grabbing energy that it received, was about body hair, and it was so raw. There was like, I used my laptop camera, and this was years ago, and it was about being a woman with body hair, because I have to cover my nipples, but I do have body hair here. Yeah, there's body hair, right? And so a lot of my following has been these men who've been really drawn to that. Okay, so you are welcome in the space if this is you know, your vibe, and I also will censor your comments if it starts to be this predatory energy, okay, of preying on my body hair. And I can also do some videos making space for that energy and why there is this energy, because there's nothing wrong with the predatory energy. We see it a lot in nature, but we are learning how to transmute it. And this channel does not stand for that. This channel, this body, has boundaries to that energy, right? I am speaking right now. My primary desire is to speak to other womb bearers, and those who are aligned and alive and in allyship with womb bearers who are on this path. So if you're feeling me, click subscribe below. I would love to know how this landed for you, how you speak your truth, what this brought up, how we can use these platforms as a way that enlivens us and doesn't drain us and deplete us. And I have no idea how to do it, but I felt called to just share this little journey of the feminine. Bless you and your wildness. And let's connect. Check down below for some juice in the comments. Mwah.